welcome back to the Money Hungry Mama. Today I have Brittany with me. Brittany, take it away.
Sure. Hi. Thank you so much for having me, Brittany. I really appreciate it. I currently am a full-time mom. I am a hearing aid dispenser for United Healthcare Hearing. I am a soft play owner, and I am also opening the Boulevard Cafe in Manalapan. So that's just a little bit about me. It's craziness.
Crazy.
So a little bit about my background and kind of how I gotten into this is I have absolutely zero experience running a business. So I'm kind of like winging it.
I
Every
love it.
day is a different type of show, I should say. So I have a 2-year-old boy, almost a 2-year-old boy, I should say, in September. My heart breaks every day that goes by. I don't know where the time goes, but I had a really difficult time coming back from maternity leave. And I actually work full time at home. So I got a lot of feedback when I was on the leave, like, oh, you work from home. You have no idea what it's like to go back to work. And I'm like, I understand that, but this is now, and just not being with my son 24/7 absolutely killed me. And something to mention is I have debilitating anxiety hit with postpartum. It was terrible. I I had this idea where I'm like, I want to open a business so I can leave corporate and I can be home with my son and work on the weekends. So I have a very supportive husband. I've been with him about 10 years. It's 10 years, absolutely 10 years. And we've been married 3 years. And he's like, whatever you want to do, we can do this. So
I love it
I
so
was just thinking, I'm like, what can I do? How can I make this thing huge? And one thing about me is anything I put my mind to, I'm going to figure it out. And if I don't figure it out, at least I tried.
100%.
Yeah, right? So, like, that's the biggest thing, and that's my drive. So, I started Poppin Bottles Soft Play, and it took off. So, I started this in February of 2024. April of 2024, I was booked for 2024 completely. Like, it's wild.
My gosh.
Yeah. I don't know how, I don't know why. Like I said, I had zero experience in the business world, and I was just booking, booking, booking to the point where I had to buy 2 extra sets of stuff. I have 2 trailers now, like 4 parties a weekend. Mentally, 4 parties a weekend. I could do more, but mentally I can't.
Yeah.
And I am just doing it. And something about Poppin' Bottles is we are super creative. I strive on detail. So, like a berry first, I'm gonna throw strawberries in the ball pit. Or a Italian one, there's tomatoes in the ball pit, and there's like Italian flags hanging on the fence line, and little bouncers with chef hats. So those types of details that no one would really think of
Yeah.
is what I grew into, which I absolutely love.
Love it.
It's crazy. Like I said, I don't know how I got here. It's just an idea, and I'm like, "Oh, let's try this play." And I think it's really important to note is at this time, I was planning my son's first birthday at 3 months old. So I was looking I know. I'm a nut when it comes to that.
Love it. I love it. Never
I'm
start too
totally a
early.
nut. I love planning and I love all of that. So something that really kind of got me in there is I was looking at other soft play companies and I'm like, oh my God, this is so freaking cute. Let me see if I can put my own spin on it. So that's how Poppin' Bottles came together.
My gosh. Okay. I just
Yeah,
have
I
like
know
so
it's a
many
lot.
questions, so many questions because you're just like you start this and then all of a sudden you're completely booked for 2024. And I know you're like, I don't know how
Yep.
to do it. So let's figure that out together because we need to tell everybody how we did this. So, okay,
Sure.
decided, you and your husband are like, okay, I'm starting Poppin' Bottles first. How did you think of the name? Because I think it's so cute.
That's a great honestly, we were celebrating my birthday, February 1st. My brother-in-law, his girlfriend, my parents, and the baby were in the car, my husband. And I'm like, guys, I got a name, Poppin' Bottles, wine bottles, baby bottles. Parents can have their kids in here and they're playing safe. It works. And they're like, okay, like whatever. My mom was like, that's a little ridiculous for a kid's party. But I'm like, but it'll work. You'll remember it.
You
So
absolutely
that's
will. It's so cute.
Right? And I don't know, it's not necessarily the most appropriate one, but everyone seems to remember it. My logo has a wine bottle and the baby bottle on it as well. And you know what? As motherhood, like I was in it with postpartum, I wanted a glass of wine, feeding my son a bottle every 2 hours. Like that
Yeah.
was just where we were at. And it just made sense to me.
Yeah. And honestly, like you said, it's memorable. Like, I'm not gonna walk away from a place and be like, "Oh, what was that thing called?" Like, because you think about it, you're like, "Poppin'
I
bottles," like that,
know.
like, it's something that you think about. So I think that was super creative.
The funny part is though, I have to explain this. People are like, "It's popping bottles." I'm like, "No, it's poppin' bottles." So they're like they even remember it even more because 'cause I'm like, "You gotta put that poppin' bottles."
Okay, so you thought of this adorable name, and then what did you do? Did you make an Instagram? Did you make social media? Like, what did you do
So,
next?
a fun fact about me is I did what's it called? Like, It Works. Do you remember all of that, like, the belly
Yes.
wraps and all years ago?
Yes, so did I.
Those what?
Swear,
Love it.
swear,
Here we
hands to
got
goodness.
it. Guilty.
Being on my mom's couch because I was in college and literally like on me and wrapped in it. And I was like, okay, this better work.
Yep. Totally. Well, I was actually double diamond, if you
Yes.
remember those tiers.
Crazy.
Double diamond, and I was one of the top sellers on the East Coast. So, like, I won a trip to Florida, I have yeah, it was great. I mean, that's where my marketing back end came in. And now to be honest, within my full-time corporate job, I work in the marketing end. So it's just a lot of it just started to stem together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So that's how that came about.
What was the first move? Did you make social media? Did you
First
make
move. Perfect. Okay. So that was stemming into it. So mom brain, work brain. So social media was the first thing that I did. Because of that background, I was able to be like, okay, so I was successful through it works through social media. So the first thing I did was Instagram. And once you have an Instagram, you follow with a Facebook page. So a big secret that I'm more than happy to share is that got me to this point is do not care what other people think about you because if you do, you will stop dead in your tracks. So that was the biggest thing that I had to learn through the It Works platform to get to the point of where I am today. So that was all the social media. I would send requests to a bunch of people. I would invite all of my family and friends, which wasn't always easy, to my pages. Then that stemmed from questions or don't you think you have enough on your plate? Why would you want to do something more? So and I'm sure you know that is it.
instant irritation? Instant irritation. Like, let me live my life. Why do you care? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first step. It was social media. You need to get on there and take it from there.
Okay, let's dive into that because I think that's such an accurate statement, right? Like I think that's one of the hardest things too is about social media is that you get that fear of, oh my gosh, what are they going to say about me? Oh my gosh, what are they going to think? Oh my gosh. But at the end of the day, if it makes you happy and
Yes.
they literally are not paying your bills, you cannot care. Because trust me, I was hiding for so long. When I
For
launched
you.
my first book, literally nobody knew. Nobody knew because I was petrified of what people would think of me. And now look where we are.
I I think it's taken social media is really difficult for the younger generation, and it
Mhm.
can be very difficult for us. Now,
Yeah.
I'm 30, by the way, so it's definitely where we are. You see your friends hanging out with other friends and you weren't invited, those type of situations. That hurts.
For sure.
But and I also grew up by not wanting to be on social media,
Mhm.
but I learned the biggest lesson through all of this is you really cannot care
Yeah.
because if you care, you're not going to go anywhere.
Mhm.
With Poppin' Bottles, to be honest, I have the most supportive parents in the whole entire world, but they're like, you just had a baby
Yeah.
and you're going back to work. Why? And, I explained to them my why. They had a hard time doing it. They're like, okay, give it a month. You'll get over it. We'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
And recently, my mom's a COO of a business, and she's like, you proved yourself. Like you're making moves, you're moving mountains. I'm sorry, I doubted you. And those types of those types of things is like something I don't need to hear, but I like to hear from my
For
mom,
sure.
who is a businesswoman, right? So it's a very interesting type of avenue to go down, but social media is key in this
Mhm.
day and age and not caring what other people
Mhm.
say. Like you'll get a message like, I don't know you. Why did you send me a friend request? Well, I'm sorry I was giving you the opportunity to get to know me in my business and I would love to be a part of you.
Yeah, no, it's so true. But honestly, like, I think, I think that has to be the first fear. Whenever I'm talking to somebody and they're like, I would love to do this, but I don't want
Sure.
to do social media. It's like an instant, okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know how you're going to grow because, TV is gone. You can't buy commercials on TV anymore. Nobody reads the newspaper anymore. Maybe people that are in the habit, but this is the way to get your name out there, unfortunately.
Totally. And you know what? It's consistency.
It's like, hey,
Facebook Meta pays me monthly, nothing crazy. Like it pays me a cup of coffee, maybe
I love it.
two. But how that got me there is being consistent, interacting, again, not caring what other people think and being personable and intentional. Again, it works. If you don't care for other people, they're not going to care about you. So, becoming intentional through my words and through my actions is a huge hurdle that I had to learn and get over that I recently learned to get to my point right now.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I just like, I just want to instill this because I think there's so many
Yeah.
amazing moms out there that are just sitting here listening, like, I want to do something. And, the whole point is that we want you to do it too, but you're going to also have to put yourself out there in ways that could be a little bit uncomfortable. And maybe you have to do something like It Works or, start off something with smaller that's not your full blown business. And
Sure.
then all of a sudden it's like, okay, one day that switch is gonna go off and you're gonna be like, okay, all 1,000 friends on my Facebook page are getting an invite. And then you just swallow it and take it.
Exactly. I wish I remember that switch because
Mhm.
that switch is where I started to run
Mhm.
versus drag my feet. And that I know would have been a very memorable moment in my business journey, but it's just this hurdle, like, you just as a mom, as a friend, as a wife, as a woman, it just you can't care what other people think because it's gonna stop you, and your feelings are gonna get hurt. You can't do that, and you're right to the point where they're not writing the checks, they're not paying your
Yeah.
bills, they're not and something just clicks at that point that
Yeah.
you understand that.
And I know my pivotal point. Mine was when I was on maternity leave and it was literally
Okay.
my four walls. My four walls with my kids and my husband not doing any other job. And I was like, I'm going all in. And he was like, finally, we've been doing this for so long. Are you kidding me? He's like, I couldn't tell you to do it because then you wouldn't do it. He was like, you had to decide it was time. And it was because there was nobody there. I wasn't looking at anybody in the eye. I wasn't
Sure.
walking around a hallway at work to be like, oh my God, I posted that. Do you think they saw that? Like, I was alone and like, okay, it's game.
It That's exactly it. That's exactly it. I mean, you need that, and I also think you need that support system too, like, your
For sure.
husband stepped up, supported you 100%. My husband too was like, "Alright, what do we need to do?" type of
For sure.
deal.
For sure.
Having that type of support can help, but I
100%.
think it's also important to know that you're strong yourself too, and you can do
Mhm.
it. You
Yeah,
just gotta take this step.
100%. And I said this before and I said it again in case you didn't hear that episode. You have support here with this community of the Money Hungry Mama community. Like, I've never
Of
seen people
course.
show up like women in their own business. I really have not. And if you don't have it at home, I promise you have it here. Just make it known that you want support.
Absolutely, 100%, and you know what? I wish I had that community. I didn't know who or what or anything about soft play. I figured it out. So, I did eventually find a friend and a colleague that
There you go.
that became taught me a lot, but I had to get out there a little bit more to find that.
I love it. Okay, so let's get back to your soft play. All right, so you have
Sure.
this soft play, you have these creative things. I love that you match the themes. So now when it's like, okay, if I come up to you and I'm like, oh, too sweet, and I want like all this candy things, how does your mind start working and how do you start grabbing these extra pieces?
That's a great question. So too sweet. Let's do it. I am visioning the whole soft play setup. Okay. So I have like three packages. I have one that's pretty small. I have one with a bounce house, and then I have a second one with a bounce house and a roller coaster. And I always start with the ball pit. So the ball pit in a too sweet is going to have some ice cream cones. And it's also going to have some sprinkles, like ball pit sprinkles, which is super sweet. I love it.
Love it.
Then I ask the parent for a copy of the invitation so I can make sure that I'm on point with the colors, and I start branding the ball pit sign. So if that is, let's just say Blake is too sweet, and we'll do pink and purple. So with that, with the sprinkles and everything like that, that's where that goes. And then from there, I build out the colors of the ball pit that's going with the sprinkles. And then I work kind of outwards. So I've gotten a lot of like blow up donuts that I would throw into the bounce house,
Cute.
or I have waffle. What's the word? It's like a waffle banner. They look like waffles, and I hang it from the fence line. And then I have little like dog hoppers, and I would put like an ice cream type of tie around their neck. So those types of little details, yeah,
That really stands out. It really makes it match.
it does. I thrive on all of that,
Mhm.
and it's from my type A and like my perfectionist. If what I want from my son's party versus what I want to give to someone else. So it has to be perfect. Or I mean, you're paying for a service. How when I pay for a service, I expect it the way that I want it. And that's the type. And before I even leave the party or my teams leave the party, I'm like, is there anything you don't like? Because if you don't like it, tell me. I'll take it away or I'll fix it. That's the biggest thing. So I go from the ball pit out with all those details.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait. You guys make sure you're checking out the slideshow because we're going to have so many pictures in there of all of her like creations and things. And you know what's so great about this and how you're, like too sweet? I went to too sweet like 4 2 sweets in a year. So like you're able to kind of use these for different things as well, like different parties.
100%. Amazon is my best friend.
Love it.
There are times what are the 2 parties I have this weekend? I have a twirling into 3, so a
Cute.
couple of I got, like, tutus for the little dogs, I made, like, a little banner for the, bounce house, and then the second one I have is a wild one, so I just went to my storage unit, and I have this huge Melissa and Doug, like, 4-foot tiger that I'm gonna put out.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just and then I have, like, safari hats and big leaves to put in the ball pit. You asked me how I get this, I don't know, it's just like, "Oh, like, let's go from there." I just love details.
Love it. And you can see it, like, if you guys go to the YouTube and watch her talking, you could see it in her eyes. She's like, yeah, this is like, she ate it up when I said the too sweet. I love it. So, what is your most memorable customization that you've done?
A great time doing my sons, to be honest, because this was my first baby, and I wanted to put everything I had just showcase to my parents to see what I had, my husband, my friends, and my family. I felt like I was putting on a show and a publicity event. And the same thing is happening for my son's second birthday party. I don't know how that happened, but I our biggest one or our theme was the big one, so surf theme.
Cute.
So I made cardboard cutouts of my son on a surfboard with his face on it. I had like a surf sign hung up onto the fence line. I had beach balls in there. There were sharks in the ball pit.
Oh my
There were
gosh.
surfboards, like the whole 9 yards. I really enjoyed doing that one because my heart was in there. My passion's the
For
ocean,
sure.
so I really love that. A second one that I love to do that happens often is the Italian ones. I think because the amount of detail I can throw in there, like, I got baguettes off of Amazon, like the I don't even know, like, the soft things, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
even know what
yeah.
and I just threw them in the ball pit, and they smelled like baguettes, which was really funny.
My gosh.
And I had, like, tomatoes in the bounce house and stuff like that. And they're like, "Why does it smell like baked bread?" I'm like, "Because of this."
I
So,
baked it.
I'm like, this is a fun fact, I had no idea it smelled like bread, but, like, here we go, here's the details. You want an Italian party?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, like, I feel like as somebody who has paid for services, like just those little details of really kind of, bring to life a party that I couldn't do on my own, hence why I hired you. That is really, really amazing.
And I look at it in my everyday life, like, we have a landscaper, for example. If you missed a weed To be honest, okay, oh, not a weed. If you miss like 25 weeds or 30 weeds, I paid for that service. Please come back and kind of spray it again. Everyone works really hard for their money and everyone has their own expectation, which I think that was hard for me to learn that everyone has their own level of
Mhm,
expectation.
mhm.
My expectations are really, really high, and that's a good thing in this detailed type of business.
For sure, because you're bringing more to the table.
And the good thing about that is I've done over 110 parties so far in less or a little bit over a year, and I haven't really had any issues, knock on wood.
Yeah, you better not.
So I know, I'm knocking, I'm knocking. There's a couple things here and there, but that would happen after the party, not during. So that's where I learned. I'm like, hey, is there anything that you don't like about this setup? Please let me know. Because like I said, you paid this amount of money and Poppin Bottles is a little bit on the higher end of all the soft plates that are offered in Monmouth County because of all the details that I throw into each party.
Mhm.
I probably spend anywhere between 75 and $100 a party in details.
Yeah,
So
I would
you'll
imagine.
never you'll never see the same party repeated twice, which is also a pretty fun part too.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. Now, switching over, Boulevard. Tell us about that now. Where did this come from? What is Boulevard?
Brittany, I kid you not, I remember this moment. I looked at my husband. I said, I am not stressed enough. We need to add more stress to my plate. What can we do? I was in the car with my husband. I
You
was
did
literally down.
not say that.
I swear. I swear.
Okay, so what is it?
So the Boulevard is a play cafe, which essentially is a little town that we are bringing indoors. So my favorite show, and all my friends know this, if they look at Brittany Winters, what is she watching? It's Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls is my absolute hands down favorite. So I'm essentially trying to bring Stars Hollow into Manalapan
Oh my
indoors.
goodness. Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So that's where that stems it from. Like, even again, my parents, I'm really close with my parents. I told them growing up, I'm like, I want an ice cream shop, I want a diner, I want a salon, like all of that. That's where I know where I'm going to live. Now I'm in Freehold, I'm not in a small town, but it's time to bring that inside. And this is going to bring a couple of different age groups into our play area.
Okay.
So it's imagination is a huge thing. There's no trampolines, there's nothing like that. It's really encouraged for the kiddos to pretend to be a firefighter, go down the pole, go down the slide. Let's see how we can do this.
Cute.
Working at a restaurant, those types of things. That will stem from me bringing in career oriented. So we're going to go into the older age gaps. When my son gets into the police law enforcement type of realm, I'm going to ask the police officers to come in and please explain these types of careers to kids. So
Cute.
that's our like, I love it, and I don't know again, I don't know how I got onto it. These things just pop into my head, and I kinda run with it if I really like it. What also is gonna happen, as I said, is I have a medical background too. My goal is to have this type of imaginary play for the elder community. So there is a huge study out there that this type of imagination or imaginary play delays or slows down the cognitive impairment to Alzheimer's and dementia.
Wow.
This be longer and further down the road than I would like it to be because there are a lot of other things that we have to look into. But it's a big age gap, but two very different types of situations. My heart is near and dear to the little babies and the toddlers and the olders. We're probably going to range between like 6 months up to the age of 8 or 9, depending upon children's imagination. We're gonna be ADA compliant. If there's a child that's in a wheelchair, they're gonna be able to get into the firehouse and they're able to play with everything. We're gonna have sensory time, things like that. Because of that medical background, the things that I've learned, it's really important that we have that in our neighborhood, and we don't seem to have that yet.
Oh my gosh. I love this. Okay, so basically what I'm hearing is you're gonna have from babies to like 8, 9, and then also gonna somehow figure out how to bring older, like we're talking, dementia, older to be able to come and play. That is the sweetest thing.
Thank
That
you.
is so sweet.
It's just like I wish I could explain how my brain works because it's on a constant hamster wheel. But these things that I just think of and I look for the need of what this community needs. And not only do kids need a place to play. I mean, I look at my husband every Saturday. Okay, what are we gonna do today? Well, everything's closed for birthday parties. We're gonna have to figure that out. Or after work, around 5 o'clock, what do you want to do? Well, open play ended at 3:30. So those types of things as a working mom, I have learned, and I would really love to give this back to this community. And is it going to be difficult? 100% it's going to be difficult. We are in the phase of we've been in negotiation with our lease for the past 3 months
Wow.
between attorneys and everything. It's a lot. And I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I just fake it till I make it so I can come out the other side.
Okay, guys, you heard it here first. Just fake it till you make it, and then you come out the other side with poppin' business. Okay, so if you could give one piece of advice that someone would usually pay for, whether it be for the soft play or Boulevard, but you're willing to give for free today, what would it be?
That's a great question. It's really going to be the whole social media aspect. Anyone wants to know my secret because I do get DM'd. What's your secret? How do you do this? How do you have so many followers? Is to stay intentional. And I give you a little sneak peek and a tease to that in the beginning of the show, but it's to stay intentional with your thoughts. Like if you're scrolling and you're just not liking or really can relate to the person that posted something, they're not going to feel that. I'm very intentional when it comes to any types of conversation that I have with anybody. If I'm adding somebody to my network, it's because you're relatable. We're moms, we're working moms. I share content between Poppin Bottles and the Boulevard of the struggle of being a working mom. Not even a working mom owning or business owning mom to business owning mom. Like it is a daily struggle in my head. But what has gotten me through that is just to truly be intentional with your words. And that is my secret. You guys heard it here. There's no other things to the recipe that I have. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, being authentically you. I think it's so important. I feel like, especially nowadays with everybody's lives being online, it's very easy to kind of be like, ah, this person's not really like that. Or this person is, like you could just see the facade. And I feel like, I always come back to if you really want to go after something because you're passionate about it, I think it's going to just move faster. There's something about when your heart's in it that things just kind of work out better and faster. Maybe that's my
Truly.
experience, but like,
Well, no, that's truly, and I actually firsthand, I don't know, Brittany, if you know like SBA and things like that when it comes to that type of deal. Do you have a background in any of that? Okay.
no.
So I had to apply for essentially an SBA loan for the Boulevard, and I had to write a business plan. Okay, it doesn't sound that intimidating, right? Whatever, 10 pages to figure it out. No, my business plan was 125 pages long. I got approved from the first bank and only bank that I went to, and their thought was, "This never happens. I can tell how much you're passionate about everything that you do." So, and I think it took about 8 weeks. This has been going on since November of 2024, the Boulevard, things happening, things moving. It took that long to kind of get us to the point where we're at. But I remember turning to my husband, I'm like, why would they give us a loan? Yes, we have great jobs. My husband and I both work full time, but what makes them believe in us that we can give them their money back plus more?
Yeah.
And that the loan officer was like, I promise you, we don't do this. This is very unheard of to be giving you the loan for the first time to anybody
Oh,
that submitted it the first time. No revisions needed, nothing.
oh my goodness, guys, see? When you're like super passionate, there's just something that works. Like, thank you for solidifying that for me because I've been
Sure.
saying it like I'm crazy and I was like, no, like you don't
No?
understand. Like I got feedback that somebody's for one of my books that they wish I had a voice in this space. And I was like, oh, then I'm gonna start a podcast.
Yeah.
And that was it. And within like 4 weeks, this podcast was up and running. It's just when you're passionate about something, it
Really.
just is easy. I don't even want to say it like that, but it is. Like it's not painful. It's easy
It's not. It's scary. It can
for
totally be
sure.
scary at times, 100%. But no, if your heart's in it, your brain's in it, like let's do it. Like that's the motivation I have. Let's try to find out that we can do it. And if we
Yeah.
can't, at least we tried.
Yeah, and also posting on social media is easier. It's easier when you're passionate about the job that you're doing, what you're doing. Like, it's never, sometimes with, a different social media for me, it was like, oh my God, what the heck am I posting? I have no idea what to post. With this, it's like, oh, I posted about this today. I can post about this. It just
Yeah,
like flows out. It's just because my heart is so into this. It's crazy.
totally. And you know what's really humbling? Like, and I don't think of myself as a hot shot by any mean. I'm like, I'm just a mom trying to get myself through the day. Like, that's just all I am. And as to most moms, and I am now like recognized in the wild.
That's amazing.
The like scary part is they know my son because I post about my son. So it's a little like the wishy-washy area.
Yeah.
But it's just like, "You're Brittany? You own Poppin Bottles?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and you are." And they're like, "Oh, I follow you." And I'm like, "Oh, and how's Blake?" He just got surgery 2 weeks
My
ago. I'm like,
God.
"He's great." And like truly, I've made some of my best friends through just doing parties and social media. Like it's just amazing that way.
I love
It's
it.
it's just fabulous.
It
Totally
is.
fabulous.
I honestly, some of the best friends I ever made lives across country and I've never met them in real life. It's literally through social media. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it also brings, yes, it could be scary and yes, it could be intimidating and yes, people can make fun of you and do cruel things and what have you. I mean, there's always going to be hate in this world, but
Totally.
for one hateful comment, I'm telling you, you're going to get 100 beautiful, meaningful, helpful comments. It's
I
just,
mean, personal experience, 2 weeks up, I got my first booking for Poppin' Bottles. My site was hacked, asking for money, and I was like, "That's it. It's over. I, like, worked so hard all previous before I launched it. It's over." Like, literally, it took people's money out of their pocket. I don't even know how this happened. Duplicated everything, took my social media, like, it was terrible. And I went on social media and I was in tears. And I'm like, guys, listen, I don't do this. I don't usually show this raw. And I said I have debilitating anxiety. This type of stuff kills me. It breaks me down. And I said, I don't know who would do something like this. Can you please just continue to report this? Like, you know me. And the community that stood up from friends that I was in high school with that we had fallouts and we just were not friends anymore were, at my back, like, "Brittany, like, you'll come
oh,
out of this hole," and I climbed out even stronger.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, it's scary. And yes, I understand because I've been there. I've literally been where you are in listening right now, like nervous about doing it. But I promise you, it is just so freeing at the end of it to be able to be like, oh my gosh, I get to do this. Like, this is what I've always wanted to do. And now I get to do it. And there's going to be people that show up for you. I promise. And I'll be one. Just let me know.
It's fantastic, like, I don't understand like I said, I don't get what I've done to I have to give myself enough credit. I don't understand what I did to get to where I'm at. The fact that I'm recognized like, I feel like Taylor Swift at some points, I'm like,
I love it. I love it.
nowhere near, nowhere near.
I love it.
But it's the hustle, and the hustle
Yeah.
is there continuously, but it's scary and it's hard, and there's a lot of mom guilt, I'm not gonna lie, of me not being with my son or, trying to find staff and just trying to do the details. I get up at 6 a.m., I'm working popping bottles from 6 to 7 a.m., get my son, I'm working my business, my corporate world from 9 to 5. Playing with my son for a couple hours. When he goes down, then I'm switching over to popping bottles and doing the Boulevard stuff. Like, it is continuous,
Yeah.
and it's
I,
a lot.
I know. I totally understand. And for everybody listening, like mom guilt doesn't go away no matter what you do. Whether you're starting this business or, I mean, I feel it on a daily basis. And it's not even just about, doing my passions and working my passions. It's literally just random things. And I just feel like mom guilt is instilled like, oh, you became a mom, here's guilt. Like this, let me just give this to you.
Totally. And I never actually, Brittany, I never thought about it that way. That's literally how it feels. Like somebody
Yeah.
handed it to me and here you go.
Yeah.
Like
You'll
like
forever
I won't
not feel
even
like you're
get
good enough.
I won't even get my nails done. And this sounds terrible because those 45 that I took away from him by working the business or working full time, I could be with him.
Hmm.
And it's just something like I am on the back burner, which I know is not a great thing, but I am on the back burner to keep pushing and pushing to get this out and to give everything and more to my son and future children. And that's my drive,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, like, good for you, right? Like, to sit here and know that it's basically leaving them a legacy. That's just what I've been seeing so often lately, and it's like,
Yeah.
you're not doing it just for the money, you're leaving them something. Like, hopefully my dream one day is to be able to buy them that car that they want, to be able to pay for their college so they don't have to go into it, to
100%.
be able to buy them a house for their wedding day, like, or at least contribute. Like, I would love to be able to set them up to not have to feel the struggle.
That's exactly it. And the biggest thing is I think it's really important to note, my husband and I, we make a great salary. So what crazy person would add more to that? And it's because there's more to give, I think. I grew up in a very, like I said, a very supportive household. People would say a silver spoon in my mouth. I don't look at it that way. But my parents always gave us everything we wanted and needed. I worked hard for it. If that meant 8 a.m., I'm mowing the lawn or weed whacking, I have to do that to go get $20 to fill my tank, like whatever. I worked really hard for it. I want to be in a position with my son always that if we're standing in the grocery line and we're checking out and he wants, I don't know, chapstick, for example, and say it's ridiculous and it's like the EU, it's like $10, whatever. I wanna be able to just get him that chapstick and not even think about, "Okay, well, alright, $10, so now I'm gonna take that out of our budget this
Yeah.
week." I don't want to do that, and I don't wanna be in that position, and it can happen. It can happen. What I have now can get taken away so quickly, and I wanna be prepared for that if and when it ever happened, God forbid.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh, Brittany, I feel like you and I could sit here for talk for hours, but I'm going to
Totally.
ask you that last question. What does being a money hungry mama mean to you?
You know what? It means shaping and changing the way that people look at motherhood. Just because I essentially am working really, really hard and working a full time job, running two full time businesses doesn't make someone I hate to say this, a crummy mom or make me love my son any less. It's the future. And I always think 10 steps ahead. And this is the future thought. Being present is something that's extremely important to me. And when my son is here, the phone is down and I am completely present. But it's just reshaping this mold that we have that moms just have to be a mom. There's so much more to a mom, and a mom has the most important job. And it's our job to set our kids up for the future. And that's what being a money hungry mama means to me.
Oh my goodness. Chills. I love that question because I get it every single time. I love it so much.
I love it.
So, Brittany, thank you so much for being on here.
Right.
Seriously, your pearls of wisdom, especially with social media, I think were definitely something that somebody need to hear today. And now, where can our listeners support you?
They can go on to Poppin Bottles NJ on Instagram and Facebook, and then we are the Boulevard on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok as well. Not really TikTok vibe.
I lo-
So give me a follow and then I'll follow back. And I'd love to learn about everyone and stop in and say hi. And if you have any questions, I am here to support. Like I said, I didn't really have a back end to be able to grow this. So if you have questions, please send me a DM and I'm happy to answer.
my gosh, thank you so much. It was so great to have you.
Thanks, Brittany, so much. I appreciate it.